Eh. Good evening, all. Welcome to the Shadow Gallery. I'll be your host, James Donnelly. And this is a very special episode of the Shadow Gallery. I'll be confessing something very important to you. Some of you might run in disgust. Some of you may just immediately stop the video. Some of you may write obscene things about me, that I'm mad, that I'm crazed, that I'm a fiend. Well, we shall see who is fiendish. Now, like many people who use the internet on a regular basis, we know that there is a proliferation of pornography out there. Now, before you stop, hear me out. I'm not saying that I'm addicted to pornography, but I am addicted to a very special kind of pornography. What? Wait. Stop. Hear me out. You might be suffering from this too. It's important that we get these things out in the open. I am a superhero porn addict. Yep. That's it. It's out. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what's going on up here? This guy must be just fucked in the head, man. I'm not. I'm as normal as you are. Hey, you can watch your bestiality porn and your, elbow deep in Asian teens porn and just all that crap all you want. Me, I like superhero porn. Because it's just really fucking funny. And sometimes, occasionally, sometimes it's done well. Now, I won't get into the specifics of who some of these studios are, what they do. Anyway, we're just going to talk about some of them in general. Now, this is okay. Let me also preface this by saying this is not just an addiction to porn film. It's also an addiction to porn illustrations, superhero porn illustrations. Now, this really started with Batman. You can see the tattoo right there. That's right. It's me representing. Got one up here too. This is actually from, some of you who are real comics fans out there might recognize this. This is actually from a panel of Batman Year One, based on one of David Mazzucchelli's illustrations. My favorite panel of the whole book. Anyway, moving on. It started with Batman the Triple X parody, which was essentially a parody of the original, well, I shouldn't say the original, but of the 1966 television show with Adam West and Burt Ward. Again, I won't get into the specifics of what actually happens in the film, because I'm trying to keep this somewhat family-friendly. It sucked. It was, I appreciate that it was going for a more campy attitude, but overall it just wasn't very impressive. Then came, we'll see, okay. We'll probably have a Green Lantern by the time that the year is out, because of the film. But we've had Wonder Woman, and recently Superman, both of which are awful for the most part. And the worst of the lot actually just came out, and that was the Justice League of Porn Star Heroes, which is ironically the first live-action Justice League that's ever actually been, that's actually really been seen by people, other than the really, really awful aborted pilot for the Justice League series that was going to be in the 90s. That was based on the Justice League International title. And that's only, people can only see that, I think, on YouTube. I've seen part of it, and it's just god-awful. But so was this, ironically. It was really, really bad. First of all, you don't make Zatanna a villain. Okay, that's just not proper etiquette. Okay, there's scenes with Harley Quinn. It's Batman and Robin double team. If they had spent a little bit more money, it could have been something worth watching. But then there's actually the best of them. The best of them is a film simply entitled Batfuck. Now, this is a film that borrows, for the most part, from The Dark Knight. It actually, it's a play on the actual film, the Batman, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Although there is, characters like Catwoman and Robin appear. It's a female Robin this time. And it's about 4 hours long, and it's pretty damn good. Just as far as, the production value, the more or less parody that's going on, and let's face it, the sex is pretty good too. But more to the point, I'm going to get into the illustrations now. Because you can find galleries of this shit. You can go to some of the pay sites, you can pay a lot of money to see some of this stuff, or there's a site that I found. I'm not going to share it with you. You'll have to find it on your own. ehentai.org. And if you go to the gallery section of the homepage, and if you type in the word superheroes, you'll find some of these things. And one of them is called The Great Scott Saga of Justice League Unlimited, which is essentially, it's about I don't know how many pages there are. There's like 70 or 80 pages of basically somebody doing the absolute best likenesses of the animated Justice League Unlimited characters that I've probably ever seen. And this is porn. And it actually has a pretty good, well-structured plot that if there was no pornography, it would actually be a pretty decent comic. That's what's crazy about it. So if you can find The Great Scott Saga, if you look it up, if you Google it or whatever, you'll probably find some pages. It's definitely not for the kids, despite the fact that it's in the, the kind of Bruce Timm, Justice League, animation style. But it's really good. I was surprised at the actual level of thought and quality that somebody put into creating this. And I don't have a name to put to this person, probably because they're afraid they're going to get sued. Because most, and I've seen, stuff from like John Byrne and George Perez, where they do like topless versions of, some of the characters that they've worked with over the years. Like, I've seen like a, half-naked Scarlet Witch and, Storm by John Byrne. I think George Perez did a Starfire one where she's topless. Anyway, it's pretty entertaining if you look at this site and see some of the stuff that's in there. Because let's face it, some of the female illustrations that are out right now in comics do border on porn anyway. So I'm probably going to save this vlog for a rainy day, because I'm going to wrap it up here. I've pretty much gotten as much as I wanted. Yes, I'm a superhero porn addict. Thank you very much. Goodbye.